For this lesson, you'll need a pencil, some paper, and a world map, which I'll upload to Seesaw. Hello everyone, I hope that you're all okay. I just wanted to start today's geography lesson off by sharing with you some of the secrets from last week. So obviously one of your tasks was to look at what you think our new theme might be, and I gave you the map that's on the screen at the moment. Now lots of you got really close with it and told me lots about animals and kind of desert islands and being isolated from lots of other people. And our new theme is currently at the top of your screen, so it's what is the difference between living and surviving. And obviously there'll be different parts to the theme. We are going to start off with looking at animals. You may have had a couple of clues as we've done some of the literacy work in the past few sessions as well. But basically, as we look through the theme, it's going to be more centered around geography than our last theme was, which obviously was really kind of heightened with history, looking at the war, and looking at different locations first, which we're going to start by looking at today. To share with you our core text, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on this a little bit later in the half term. Certainly after we've done our explanation text, it's going to be this one, which is The Girl Who Speaks Bear, which is a story that's by Sophie Anderson. And you can see it's quite a lengthy story, but it's written in a slightly different way as to what you would usually be used to, and that's going to really kind of go along our theme of animals and obviously that difference between living and surviving. So I'll share with you the blurb, and then we'll move on to our geography lesson for the rest of today, and we'll look forward to coming back to this a little bit later on. They call me Yanka the bear, not because of where I was found. Only a few people know about that. Found abandoned in a bear cave as a baby, Yanka has always wondered where she's from. She tries to ignore the strange whispers and looks from the villages, wishing she was as strong inside as she is on the outside. When Yanka has to flee her house looking for answers about who she really is, a journey far beyond anything she ever imagined begins. From icy rivers to smouldering mountains, meeting an ever-growing herd of extraordinary friends along the way. Okay, sounds an interesting adventure. So as I say, we'll look forward to coming back to that as we move through the theme. Okay, so to start our geography session today, here is your learning objective. Really lucky in the sense that we've already done quite a bit of work using maps, and one piece of work obviously looking at the Axis and the Allies last term using a world map. So today's learning objective is that we're learning to use an atlas so that we can locate the continents and some of the cities around the world. At this point, really important to stress, if you haven't got an atlas at home, that's fine. You can use the internet, and there's also a couple of world maps that I'll show you a little bit later that you can use too. So your success criteria then for today, your bronze is to label the 7 continents. We're going to do quite a bit of work to start off our lesson about that in a moment. Your silver to locate some cities using an atlas or the internet, and then the gold to write comparative sentences about the locations of the continents and cities that you have found. So utilising words like north, south, east, west, northwest, and the rest obviously as well. Okay, so going to start with a retrieval task. In a moment, I want you to pause the video and I want you to name the 7 continents. Okay, so pause the video now and I'll be back in a few seconds to share with you what the continents are. Okay, so here are the 7 continents that you should have written down. Hopefully you got a good majority of them if you didn't get all 7. So you should have Europe, which is obviously the continent that we live in, Asia, Africa, North America and South America, Australasia, I'll give you that if you got Australia, or Oceania it's sometimes called, and Antarctica is the final one. That's really important that you know those continents. So if for whatever reason you didn't know them, keep going back over that list so you try and remember them, and keep going back to the task and keep writing them down till you know all 7. That's really important. Okay, so next retrieval task that I would like you to have a go at, you only need to talk about this one or certainly think about it in your head, and don't worry about writing it down. Have a look at the world map. Now you know all the 7 continents: Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Have a look at where you think the continents are located. For this one, I'll give you a little bit of a clue. There is one of the continents that would just be off the bottom of this map, so imagine there's a piece of land there, and use that to help you too. Okay, well done if you got the continents in the correct place. As you can see from this world map, it's slightly different to yours, but equally it's good in the sense that it gives you the colour-coded areas of the different continents. So we've got Europe in the middle of our map, which obviously is the continent that we live in. Asia obviously to the right of that. We've got Australia to the bottom of Asia, or below Asia, south of Asia should I say. Africa is south of Europe, or southwest of Asia. We've got North America, obviously north of South America, and Antarctica is the continent that's at the bottom that wasn't on the world map that I've just shown you. So again, at this point, if you're not sure on the location of the continents, pause this slide, go over it, revise it, go back to the world map or the blank world map on the page before, and really try and revise exactly where all the continents are, because that's so important for you to know and for you to remember as well. Okay, so for your task for today then, you are going to be working on a blank world map, and your world map is uploaded onto Seesaw for you to do that with as well. The first thing that I want you to do is to label and colour code the 7 continents on your map. Now, ideally, if you can, you'll be able to print off the world map and obviously use coloured pencils, 7 different ones to create a key, and obviously to label on the different continents. You can just write Antarctica at the bottom of the map, that's absolutely fine. If you don't have access to a printer or to coloured pencils, then to do it directly onto Seesaw is absolutely fine. I'll kind of model it now as to how you can do it. So for example, if you wanted Europe to be in red, you could obviously colour in, ignore how messy this is by the way, you could colour in the countries that are in Europe. I'm just doing Spain there, and France, and Germany, and Italy. And obviously do it super neatly, but do it in that method rather than if you can't print it off, should I say. And then obviously move on to the other continents. When you've done that, what I would probably suggest is to obviously make sure your key's at the bottom. You can use that space just to the west of South America to fill that in. And then I want you to have a look, and this is a bit of an extension task, at choosing at least one city to locate in each continent and label it on your map. Now, really important, you don't then go off and label countries. So for example, don't then go and find England, don't then go and find Russia or Brazil or the USA. They're all countries. You're looking for cities in each continent. You only need to do one, but equally it'd be great if you could see some more or find some more as well. So it might be that you look for the city of London. I'll give you the easiest example probably. Just to the bottom of England if you find it on your atlas, and then obviously if you just put a little dot to show the location of where it is, and then just write London next to it. Obviously, again, yours is going to be much neater on mine. I'm trying to do it on a laptop keyboard, but I look forward to seeing the way that you present your work as well. Obviously, really important to make sure that your presentation is super neat, and please make sure as well that you do, if you're not sure of the continents or if you're not sure of where the continents are, keep going back to earlier in the video and try and learn them that way, so that you're really prepared for completing your world map. That's really important to get from this lesson as well. So I look forward to seeing you work on Seesaw. Take care everybody, and I'll see you soon.